Hello, everyone. I am Billy Price, co-founder of Billy Footwear, and this is another episode of Open Book, which is an opportunity for you guys, because it is a live program, for you to reach out and ask questions on the fly about our brand, about the history, about where we're going or whatever. And one of the things about the brand that is always so heartwarming is our opportunity to be able to connect with the customers. So on the screen today with us are two fantastic customers, and we'll go into their story in just a moment. But let me introduce them. We have Miss Vicki Ross and we have Miss Abbey Ross. Welcome, guys.
Well, thank you.
So, Vicki, you reached out to me, not too long ago, and your email, I got to say, was so heartwarming, and it was talking about the success that you had experienced, or I guess I should say Abbey experienced, with our shoes. So I just wanted to, I think a great place to start would be, I guess, talking about Abby's story, and then from there we'll kind of pivot into how the shoes are helping her out.
Okay. Well, Abby is our second child. Our oldest just went off to college, so she's enjoying being a only child right now and all those benefits. But she is 12 years old, and kind of her medical journey began when, after 7 days after her birth, she experienced some issues breathing and subsequently had some seizures and ultimately a stroke, which directed us to the fact that she had a brain bleed or blood clot in the back of her brain. And once that was resolved, due to that fact, she had some injury to the brain, which gave us the diagnosis of cerebral palsy. And cerebral palsy, we have found out, is a big blanketed term for many medical issues, and it is different for each and every person and child. And so in Abby's case, she is primarily affected by tight muscles in her legs, mainly on her left side. So one of the things that we have had to do over the years is wear AFOs and braces and, shoes and all that to help her independently walk, which she successfully has done that. And so we've been on this journey, and she's been very happy and healthy ever, since. And we have little issues that, everything involves with cerebral palsy, but through it all, she's incredibly independent, incredibly stubborn. And so that has made us really a fascinating journey with her, and we learn every day, but we're also always on the path, which kind of almost brings us to your product, always on the path to find something that works out well in our situation. And that has spearheaded me interacting with you about how wonderful, this product has been for us and how much it's made a difference, especially at this point in her life. So,
yeah. Well, thank you so much for that. It's been so wild. Well, first off, your story just warms my heart right to the core. Abby, I just love the pictures that you guys sent of you in your clothes and in your awesome poses of the pink shoes, as well as the rose gold high tops. They just really, I loved them. And the part that's really cool about it is, when we first started this company, it started off with just a kind of a vision of overcoming a challenge that I had. I'm in a wheelchair, and I broke my neck when I was a teenager, and when that happened, a lot of things changed, and putting on shoes is one of those challenging things. And, we came together with this kind of product, but we had no idea how far the reach was going to go. And hearing your success, I never knew anyone with cerebral palsy. I didn't grow up with that type of environment, but it's just, it's so cool to me to be able to have something that helps me out, but also helps you out too.
Right. Well, and that's, when we did get the cerebral palsy diagnosis, you do have just one mindset of what cerebral palsy may look like and all this. So, when we were first told that, I wouldn't say there was denial, but there was like, well, no, wait a second. She doesn't have what we've seen. So then you find out, and, then you go to products or things that will help you on what is afflicting you with cerebral palsy. And that's one of the common comments that Abby gets, is people look at her and say, well, you don't look like you have cerebral palsy and this and that. And so having a product that, takes that away and as we've discussed before, her and I, it's amazing that the shoes that she does pick out are this bright pink and these rose gold colors. And it's almost, I think it's a self-conscious thing of hers, but it's like, well, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Now that you see my braces and my walk, we're past that and we can move on and you can just see me. So I think, again, she doesn't know she's doing that. And it works out very, very well, again, at this point in her life, which is, the preteen years is going to be difficult. So it's been a nice thing for her.
Well, Abby, I got to say, you look good in those shoes. You really do. I mean, I don't know. I mean, of the two, which one would you say are your favorite? I think the rose gold's a little bit bigger than the pink shoes that you have. But of those two, which one is your favorite?
The rose gold.
The rose gold. Those are really popular, aren't they?
Yeah, they're definitely a fashion statement. And like I was saying, even the pink ones, she loved it, which is another great thing when you find out what shoes are available for accessible or for the AFOs. They're black, they're white, and they look orthopedic and they don't fit the bill. So to couple everything like you have with it is just, is an outstanding thing for our situation.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that was one of the big things you're trying to do, trying to level that playing field to make something that not only looked like everything else, looked like all the other shoes on the market, but also create something that everyone could enjoy. So there it is.
Right. Well, and the other point with those is the durability, because her gait, that's another thing you hear a lot of the kids with cerebral palsy, their walking style is off. So, you worried about, I did, even with your shoes, what's the durability like? Is she striking different and all this? And, I have our pink ones off to the side here and they look perfect. There's no wornness. I didn't have to super glue or tweak things along the way because they broke down on us. So, we were very, very pleased. So when it was time for another pair, I let her choose whatever color and I wasn't worried that, well, my money was just going to be wasted because they weren't going to hold up. So.
And now I remember, if I remember correctly, the rose gold, doesn't that have something to do with her name as well?
Yes. Rose is my middle name.
Yeah, Rose is the middle name.
Rose is the middle name. Oh boy, I love that. Well, if we're going to pivot here just a little bit here. So I know that, 2020 has been a heck of a year. I mean, it's affected us all in some way or another. And I know that when it comes to education right now with school, there's a lot of e-learning going on, like the virtual learning. And I was just curious to know if you could share on how that's working and, Abby, if you like it or if there's things you'd like to improve.
Well, I'll speak from, I guess, the parent point of view. It's working. It is definitely filling in for what could be a really difficult time. Thank goodness that we do live in the time where we have the computers and the laptops to fill in the gap, because for kids, and Abby is no different, with some special needs, it would be just a downhill slide for her. So she's able to kind of keep up and with the computer and get her education. And however, there's also that difficulty in that because she, along with so many other kids, look for that socialization. And especially in her case, looks towards being like everybody else. So even though she may be at a different point or angle or growth, she still needs that draw of being around her peers. And then that motivates her to continue on whatever journey she's on, even if it's not the typical journey. So when that's taken away, yeah, there's a little bit of backsliding and you try to fill it in. And but just fortunate that you do have the remote that can advance her a little bit and whatnot. But yeah, it has its frustrating moments, but we're making it through and, hoping to kind of keep going. And so, yeah, I don't know. How do you feel about it?
Three, I guess.
It's well, yeah, she likes the ease of being at home too a little bit, but yeah, it's pros and cons to it all, but we're making it through and hoping that we kind of get back to it, and we're all in it together, and just to kind of be kind about it. And that's where we're at right now with it.
I'm amazed at how with technology right now. I mean, here we are, we're out of the Seattle area, you're out of the Chicago area, and to be able to have kind of this face-to-face kind of conversation, just technology allows that. But it's also, there's something to be said about just being in the same room, being able to sit across from somebody, have a conversation, and being amongst your peers to be able to, go out and have fun. So it's going to be great when we can get back to, that sense of normalcy, I suppose, like what we knew before COVID, because I know it's always important to get out there with your friends and learn those social skills and everything. So I hope that happens soon.
Well, yeah, and kids with special needs, as far as whatever their therapies and all that, it's very important to be able to get back, and you don't really know until it's gone how much it does take care of these kids and how important it is for, definitely their mental health and how they push forward through adversities and what.
Yeah, definitely. Well, let's pivot back to the shoes for a moment.
Yeah.
I'm curious about this because I don't remember how we landed on your radar. Can you share how you first found out about Billy shoes?
Well, we first have a wonderful group, and I talk about, we have Team Abbey. We have a wonderful group of caring friends that are just totally attracted to Abbey and her health and welfare and where she's at. So when it must have been a few years ago when the shoes launched and social media got it, I was inundated on a regular basis with all these people, stating, you need to do this for Abbey. Have you seen this? And I still get things of it. And at that time, she was going through a surgery, and I said, yeah, I want to wait and want to see. So then I would start talking about it. And we thought, well, let's go ahead and get a pair and see how it goes. And we've had wonderful success. I mean, we even talked to her rehab doctors, and so I thought, well, this has got to be better than the traditional shoes, because I made sure I grabbed, she wears, these are her AFOs, so an old pair, so they don't flex. So when you're trying to, jam it into a regular shoe, it's not working, even the adaptive shoes that they have. So when I saw yours literally open up on the top, I'm like, well, whoever thought of this is just that they obviously have filled in a need for themselves and are pushing it forward to the point of even having the little tag to loop to help pull it around, because she's in and out of the shoes as much as she can. So that's how we became aware of it. And I thought, well, let's go ahead and try a pair and really kind of put it to the test to see how it works. So it has just been phenomenally remarkable for her. And just, again, to fit in and to blend in and the ease of it. I, of course, like the adaptability of it, but yeah, it's wonderful for her to just look like everybody else and have fun shoes,
Right. Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. You talk about social media, and it truly is amazing how powerful social media is. I mean, we as a brand, the reason we're able to reach people is just that kind of grassroots movement. Like one person shares with another, and that person shares with two others, and that person shares with two others. And then they start sharing with just everybody that they know. And I guess it's kind of a double-edged sword, because in your case, it sounds like everyone was pointing all that traffic to you. It's like, oh my gosh, we already know about the brand. But on the flip side, it's awesome to be able to have just that positive audience out there to just to share. I mean, it really is remarkable how far that reach can go. I mean, we have people that are reaching out from around not only the country, but also from other foreign countries on the other side of the planet. So that all happened through social media and just sharing. And I don't know, I love that, because it's huge, but it's also a sense of community, and it's amazing what we can do with community.
Right. Well, and yeah, when we got the shoes, I mean, I almost felt like with all these people talking, I owed it to them to try the pair of shoes too. But yeah, the sense of community. Abbey does a pageant every year called Miss You Can Do It. And when those parents get together and we talk, and you talk about, what works for you or what helps you. In fact, I've been talking with the mother also who's in the pageant, and her daughter has the shoes and loves the shoes as well. And, you just kind of take off with whatever product really works. And that is what, propelled me to contact you and let you know, hey, we've tried it. This is coming from a person with this sort of need, and, it is working. And because on this journey, when we found something that works, I kind of want to shoot it from the rooftops about how well it's working to help others, because, for so long you can't find something. And when you do, you want other people to, partake of your knowledge too, and not have to go on their own journey to try to find a pair of boots or shoes that fit over these, AFOs.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, isn't that the truth?
Right. So we're not shy on social media of letting people know. And, I'm just very, very pleased that we were able to finally find a company not too far into her life to, benefit and use along, and hopefully, continue to use.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that. Can you talk more about that pageant? That sounds really interesting.
Yes, it is. I'm shy about saying the exact year. I think it's been about 15 years or so now. It was founded by Abby Current, who is also has cerebral palsy, and she was the first disabled person to qualify for the Miss America Miss America. It was Miss America pageant, and she was from Iowa, and she just decided to have a pageant for girls. There's never been one for girls with disabilities, and it's for age ranges from 2 to 24. Whatever disability that you have, you are, free to participate, and it is a wonderful weekend. It is a wonderful symbol of inclusiveness, and everybody's beautiful, and there is no winners, so to speak. And it is just a wonderful weekend held every year, with COVID not being present. And so we look forward to it. It is a family symbolic event, and we love it. The girls love it. They, you see no disabilities or anything there. You just see pure girls having fun and being on a stage and doing what they've seen before with any other pageant or event. So yeah, it is phenomenal, and it's really made a lot of friendships and connections that we never would have, been able to encounter before.
Oh, wow.
So
Wow, that's so special. That's awesome. I didn't know about that. I'm gonna have to look into that more.
yes,
It's been incredible, because there's been lots of I don't know if necessarily pageants, but what I'm familiar with is something called Runway of Dreams. Runway of Dreams
okay.
is something out of New York, and they've started to have smaller chapters in, lots of different educational institutions around the country. But it's all kind of with that same kind of spirit, with the inclusion and just being able to, I don't know, just share. I mean, share and tell
Right.
the good story, and just empowering others, and just giving that sense of independence, which it's just crucially important.
Right. Well, and yeah, and you only have to attend to see, the faces of the girls light up, and to be, just to be part of it. And that's why, kind of tying in, when you're not face to face, there's that interaction or that, togetherness that is lacking, and it drives and it thrives. And especially these girls, of the pageant, and children in general with any, special needs. It really takes, the heart and soul out of it when they can't be around or can't, participate. So, it's wonderful that there's more adaptive things. Abby has been very involved with a lot of adaptive classes, and it means the world of difference. She's not, of course, at the same level of the true sport, but that does not matter for her not to, reach her potential and do what she does. It's, all these programs are it's almost very nice to find time that it's finally here, that we're having more and seeing more of these things, and whether it be products or events for kids with needs.
Yeah. Wow, that's great. That's really good. So Vicki, I mean, I didn't really have too much of a set kind of deal for the conversations. It was more to me just conversation amongst friends with both you and Abby. So before I sign us off, first I just want to thank you for your time. Thank you for your time too, Abby. There you are again. But I want to give you the mic. I want to give you the mic one more time just to kind of share what's on your heart. And because I know there's lots of families out there that, could be in a similar situation to you or not. But I just want to give you another opportunity to kind of share whatever you want to share.
Okay. Well, I suppose all I would really want and to say as far as Abby's journey or our journey or what we've learned on it is taking what you thought maybe your life would be or your child's life would be and to embrace it. And this has been a journey like no other, and it continues to be. And there's been several life lessons, and she propels me to do things I would have never done before, or speak my mind, or the advocating process. And, I think there's lessons to be had with whatever situation you're in. So it has been truly remarkable to have Abby and to have her as a daughter and to see life through her eyes, and, puts me in check and puts others in checks and makes you very, very fortunate for what you have. And yeah, just very, very pleased to be able to speak on it and to advocate for cerebral palsy, and just very, very happy that we're here and we're doing it. And, it is not what I thought it would be 12 years ago when I heard the word. So I'm very pleased that we've made the most out of where we're at.
Yeah. Well said. Well said. Yeah, I can't even. I guess before I sign us off, just one more thing. I mean, when you first heard what was going on 12 years ago, to be able to hit with that type of emotional news, I can't imagine what could have been happening, like going through your head at that moment. But to be able to move forward and just like embrace life as it is right now, I just think that's awesome.
Yeah, no, it was a little bit of a shell shock, I will not lie, but we had a wonderful team that said, you know what, we're going to go, and you'll know what you know as far as if there's any issues, and, still your child. And this is just, everybody has something. So yeah, we had a great, great team that kind of pulled us up from our bootstraps and said, okay, here's what we got. Let's pivot and let's start embracing her life and doing what we need to do. And that's what we continue to do.
So well said. Awesome. Abby, you're a rock star.
I think she's done with screen time today. Had her fill between school and everything. So yeah.
We'll keep wearing those shoes, keep sending some pictures. We'll make sure to keep posting them because they truly are awesome.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Everyone, thank you very much for tuning in today. This is another episode of Open Book. We'll have another one next week. All right, everyone, enjoy the rest of the day. Thanks so much.